Switch 2 Joy-Con are getting a swanky new charging station. Nintendo gives us a Switch Online update that's been long awaited, and GTA 6 on Switch 2. That's all coming today in Good Morning Mario and Good Morning Switch fans. Hope you're all doing fan-freaking-tastic out there. Got my Doc Pop Poppy probiotic soda in my Detroit Lions can cooler. No mug of tea today. It's getting warm already in Phoenix, and things are heating up for the Switch 2 as Take-Two has comments, and this begs the question, is GTA 6 going to come on the Switch 2? But first, Wario Land 4 arrives on NSO next week. We're getting a new GBA update, which it doesn't seem like it, but this is the first new Game Boy Advance update since October. All right, so this one is heading to the Switch on February 14th for Valentine's Day. I guess Wario is the sweetest Valentine if you don't have a Valentine. In real life, you can kick it with Wario. I'm glad that they're continuing to push Switch Online releases. I wish they would push them a little bit faster and harder, but at least they are continuing to come. And the Game Boy Advance ones are honestly the ones that I'd like to see more frequent. This is a February release. Last time was October. It's 4 months, Nintendo. If you can't count, that's 4 months. We could have had at least 3 more games in those 4 months, but we'll take it. This one comes out next week, next Friday, and another nice addition. Notice it's next Friday. That does not obstruct the possibility for Nintendo to house a direct of some sort next week on their typical Wednesday or Thursday dates. TBD on that. No new info, no new rumors as of yet, except I have seen more people just double down saying like, yeah, they've heard and they believe there will be a February Nintendo Direct, and it makes sense that there will be. It's also very interesting that someone spotted a Legend of Zelda stained glass window in Orlando, but not just anywhere in Orlando. This is at the upcoming Epic Universe Park at Universal Studios, the new Super Nintendo World being built out to open this coming May. Now, I've been to Super Nintendo World in Hollywood, California. There ain't no Link. It's all Mario. And we know that they're expanding with a Donkey Kong section in Florida, but there is no Link. I don't even think there's Link merchandise as far as I'm aware, so this is the first sign of Link in a theme park, which bodes very well for the future of possibly getting a Legend of Zelda expansion. I would be very interested to see what they could do with that, and maybe they would age it up a bit, as it's been kind of proven that the Donkey Kong Land is definitely targeting very young kids. Link and Zelda, maybe they would up the ante a bit, and maybe they are prepping something, as we know they're in works on a Legend of Zelda live-action movie, theme park expansion live-action movie. Those seem to line up perfectly. But let's not delay any longer, and let's talk about this freaking Joy-Con charger. I think this thing looks really nice. This is another patent that was uncovered in the patent drop yesterday, where we touched on a splittable Pro Controller, Joy-Con mouse pointer functionality, and possibly Pro Controller mouse pointer functionality as well. Now these Joy-Con, the magnetic marvels, they got a nice place to sit. And this dock looks very cheap and very easy. I don't know if Nintendo will actually put this out. Again, it seems like Nintendo is really trying to say, hey, third parties, we got no need for you. We're going to do everything. The Switch 2 is back with a grip. It would be great if the grip could just charge the Joy-Con themselves, but I bet the grip is, again, just a piece of plastic for you to hold those two together, and therefore this could be a nice, nifty, small display to place next to your Switch 2 dock and get those Joy-Con charging up. I don't know if the Joy-Con will take more battery like juice because they have this mouse pointer functionality, or maybe also because they now are 9-axis motion sensing instead of 6-axis. And no, I'm not talking about that PlayStation controller. I'm talking about the original Switch Joy-Con utilized a 6-axis motion sensor, and that was how they were able to be a gyroscope with 3 axes and an accelerometer with the other 3 axes. Now, it looks like the Switch 2, based on patents, is going to be bumped up to 9-axis, which actually returns back from the Wii U era. Apparently the Wii U gamepad was a 9-axis motion sensing sensor, and so this is now going to have 3 for gyroscope, 3 for accelerometer, and 3 for magnetic field strength. Interesting that it should give it a better motion controlled experience, and especially if they are going to be utilizing that mouse, they probably need a little bit more fine-tuned motion control. The funny part is, like, Switch didn't need motion control at all, yet here Nintendo goes doubling down on motion control, and it's like we're all back in the Wii era once again. But fear not, I don't think the motion control or the mouse functionality of the Switch is going to be like a game changer or a deal breaker. I think it's just going to be an extra feature. We know the main purpose of the Switch is to play your games in a hybrid state where you can take them on the go and then play them on your TV. So what will you be playing on this Switch 2 besides that coveted Mario Kart 9/10? Will you be playing GTA 6? This is a big question that everyone wants to know because this is the biggest video game release, whether you like it or not, of the entire year. And yeah, that surpasses Mario Kart 9/10, that surpasses 3D Mario. It even surpasses the Switch 2. I hate to say it as a diehard Nintendo fan, but GTA 6 is massive, monumental, and might even be the most expensive video game. They're looking to charge an exorbitant amount. We've heard rumors of up to $100 for this game, but alas, the important thing here is, can it come to Switch 2? We know the Switch 2 is trying to be a more improved piece of hardware that can become a competitor in the multi-platform space, in the games from major franchises that have missed out on the Switch over the last 7 to 8 years, GTA being one of those. We got LA Noire, and we got Red Dead Redemption 1, and that was our rockstar output for the generation. No RDR2, no GTA 4 even. We did get the GTA collection, but that's more of like a remaster. I don't know. It started off really rough, and then they were able to get the rain going, the rain falling in that game and not looking like absolute crap. Regardless, Take-Two talked about their long-standing relationship with Nintendo and reported to us that guess what? Nintendo Switch is no longer a kiddie console. They're saying that Nintendo platforms, there was a time when they were really geared at younger audiences, and that was reflected in our release schedule. Now with today's Switch and potentially Switch 2, the Switch device can support any audience. Now this is no confirmation, but this is looking good. Any audience. You know, the big deal with the Switch and GTA in the past and games of that ilk were like, hey, this is not a console for mature players. This is a console for kids. It's the Mario console. We saw that kind of being rewritten with the Nintendo Switch 1. Mortal Kombat's on the Switch. And Take-Two did put out some games on the Switch. They tout that, hey, they've got Civ 7 coming out next week on the Switch, and that's pretty cool. And they did bring their classic BioShock and Borderlands games and XCOM titles to this platform. They recently brought Borderlands 3, which is pretty cool, albeit many years late. Could they bring GTA 6? I still feel like this is dicey at best. And you might see some videos pop up, you might see some headlines like, oh my gosh, we're finally going to get GTA 6 on Switch. It's a reality because of what Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two, said. Like, it is a possibility. We've entered into an era where now it's possible. Like, there is a chance that this happens. Is it in the cards for Switch 2? I don't know. There's at least a card. This is Strauss giving a big card saying, like, there was a time when it was for kids, at least we thought, and we reflected that in our releases, and now is no longer that time. He said, while we have nothing specific to report, we actually would fully expect to support Switch 2. And fully support could mean every single game. Like I said, not a confirmation of GTA 6, but the best we're going to get until it's either confirmed or denied. Could Nintendo leverage GTA 6 on the platform as like a boom bop bam big moment to really bring the Switch 2 into a place where it's a competitor with the PS5 and Xbox Series X? I know it doesn't have the power, but if it's got the same darn games library, it's going to be pretty hard to resist. And GTA 6 will inevitably sell a gajillion copies. It might be expensive, it'll last for like a decade, and it'll be the biggest video game event of the year. Sorry, I mean, I love the Switch 2, it's a bigger video game event for me, but GTA 6 is just, it's insurmountable. There's nothing that's quite like a Grand Theft Auto release, and if Nintendo could get a part of that, if Strauss saying fully support Switch, saying we can support any audience with the new Switch device, that bodes well. I wouldn't bank on it because I still think GTA 6 is going to be a very forward technological project that is pushing the bounds and limits of the already existing more powerful PS5 and Xbox Series X, and will be targeting high Xbox Series X, PS4 Pro, and in many ways probably with the world that it's putting together, but does Take-Two want some more million units sold? Wouldn't they like another 10 million out of the Switch 2? Or eventually lifetime, maybe 100 million copies. And I know that sounds absolutely insane, but like the Switch 2 and GTA 6 could actually be a very strange match made in heaven. It's like Isabelle and Doomslayer. They got together really weirdly, and it worked really well for that marketing beat. I feel like there's some strange, crazy good marketing you could do with GTA 6 on the go on your Switch 2. And the idea of Mario and GTA on the same console, and both playable, and both fantastic, and both doable, and both awesome, and both options, that would be a really, really cool point to show that the Switch 2 is different than the Switch 1. Maybe it doesn't look different, but in terms of what they're targeting and how they're positioning this console, it would be vastly different. So let me know in the comments down below if you think GTA 6 will make it to Switch 2. I don't know that it will. I think it's got a chance. I would still say it's like, in my opinion, 70% no, 30% yes, but it is interesting that he says, we have nothing specific to report. We actually would fully expect to support Switch. Fully can mean different things. Obviously, these CEOs talk a big game. It often happens with publishers. And then what's their actual output? We know the game industry is quite strange. Take-Two could, make tons of mistakes and terribly fail the Switch. But we'll have to wait and see. GTA 6, a possibility. I'm going to have to get myself one of those Joy-Con docks. But if the Pro Controller is splittable, then maybe I won't need it, because I'll actually just use the Pro Controller all the time. Even if the Joy-Con are better and drift-free, like, I hope they're great. But for me, the Joy-Con are kind of like a day one, week one thing. And then I think they slowly go away. But if you're looking for a neat way to charge them, this new patent is definitely promising. And 9 axes of motion is going to make all of us wiggly for a very long time. But thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe, staying healthy, staying happy, staying positive out there. And until next time, SwitchForce out.